All right, we're about to pull on a little thread of physics that, well, it might just unravel your entire perception of reality. Welcome to a reality check on one of the most mind-bending ideas out there, the Boltzmann Brain Paradox.
Seriously, just for a second, look at your hands, the room you're in. It all feels solid, right? Real? You've got memories of today, of your life, all leading up to this exact moment. That feeling of certainty? That's exactly what we're going to challenge.
Because, you see, buried deep within the fundamental laws that run our universe, there's a really chilling possibility. It's an argument grounded in pure logic and math that suggests everything you know, everything, might just be an illusion.
So let's start with the big problem, the universe itself. The very fact that we're here in this orderly, structured cosmos, well, from a purely statistical point of view, it's pretty much impossible. Think about it. We've got galaxies and stars and planets all playing by these predictable rules. That's an incredible amount of order. Now in physics, the measurement of disorder is called entropy. That means our universe has incredibly low entropy. And the laws of thermodynamics tell us that's just about the most unlikely state for a universe to be in.
And this leads us to a really critical question. If the universe naturally wants to be a chaotic, disordered mess, what's actually easier to create from a random cosmic fluke? What's the more probable thing to just pop into existence?
And the choice here is just staggering. On one hand, you've got the spontaneous creation of everything, all of it, 14 billion years of cosmic history. Or on the other hand, you have just one tiny, complex thing, a single conscious brain that just thinks all that other stuff exists. When you actually do the math, it's not even close. Option B is way, way more probable.
Okay, to really get why that is, we need to talk about the fundamental rule at play here. It's a little thing called entropy, and it's one of the most powerful and, frankly, unavoidable laws in all of physics.
You can think of entropy as the universe's default setting, and that setting is chaos. The second law of thermodynamics is basically the ultimate cosmic rule. Things fall apart. They don't get tidier on their own. Every single bit of order and complexity we see is just a temporary fight against this huge, overwhelming tide of randomness.
And you see this every single day. Your coffee gets cold, ice melts. A perfect egg can shatter into a mess, but you will never, ever see that mess spontaneously put itself back together into a perfect egg. The arrow of time always points towards more disorder.
This quote just illustrates the problem perfectly. Our universe, with its super low entropy, is the cosmic equivalent of that perfect, spontaneous Hamlet. I mean, sure, it could happen, but the odds are so ridiculous that you should probably be a little suspicious. You should be looking for a simpler explanation. And physics has one. A simpler, much more likely explanation for your conscious experience. It makes a case for a much cheaper reality. Basically, the universe taking the path of least resistance.
So here's the absolute key. Creating an entire universe is the biggest, most insane violation of the law of entropy you can imagine. But creating just one tiny little pocket of order, a single conscious brain, that's a much smaller statistical fluke. And because it's smaller, it is so much more likely to happen.
And get this brain wouldn't need to last, it doesn't need a body, it doesn't need life support. It would just need to pop into existence out of the random chaos for a split second, just long enough to have one single, coherent thought.
And that is where this gets really personal. Because the one experience it needs to have is the one you are having this very second. The thought that you are here, watching this, listening to my voice. And then, poof, it dissolves right back into the chaos.
Now, at this point, I know exactly what you're thinking. It's the biggest objection, and it feels like slam dunk, undeniable proof that this theory is crazy, so let's just tackle it head on.
This is it, right? The ultimate rebuttal. Your memories. That continuous story of your life feels like the most solid proof there is. You remember your childhood, what you did last week. It's this rich, detailed tapestry that proves you have a past. How could that possibly be fake?
Well, a theory has a pretty terrifying answer for that. A memory isn't some magical thing. It's just a physical arrangement of neurons in your brain. And if a random cosmic fluctuation is powerful enough to assemble an entire brain from chaos, it could just as easily assemble it with a specific set of memories already installed. Your entire life story could just be the default startup file for a brain that flickered into existence 5 seconds ago.
So,
If we follow this cold, hard statistical logic all the way to its final conclusion, we end up in a place that is profoundly lonely and deeply unsettling.
Just think about what that really means. If you are a Boltzmann brain, you are a single, momentary flash of consciousness in an otherwise empty, chaotic void.
Everything you see, everyone you've ever loved, every memory you hold dear, it's all part of the hallucination. They're just electrical patterns inside a brain that is completely alone in the dark. There's no past, there's no future. There's only this one single, fleeting moment of thought.
This whole paradox really forces us to ask, what do we trust? Do we trust our senses, our feelings, our memories? Or do we trust the cold, hard math of thermodynamics? What proof do you have, really, that you aren't just a brief, accidental spark of order in an endless chaos?
So, maybe enjoy this moment. Really appreciate this thought. Because if the universe truly does take the path of least resistance, then this experience you're having right now, it might not be just one moment in a long life. It might be the only thing that has ever been real at all.